Well, let me do it once.
Yeah, no worries.
The walk is all right.
Yep. So, Andre, you're punching the bag in the background, so you can start. So, just a rehearsal and action.
At a time when my television career was starting, so too was the career of a boxer, then known as Cassius Clay. Most of us, in fact everybody in the world, knows him now as Muhammad Ali, my hero.
Working well for me. And we're not too long on that one. And you're happy with that walk, Sir David, yeah?
Yeah.
Here we go. And action, Andre, and action, David.
At a time when my television career was just starting, so too was the career of a boxer, then known as Cassius Clay. Most of us know him today, in fact everybody knows him today, as Muhammad Ali, my hero.
So I keep it behind the bag then, yeah? Sorry, because I'm not looking direct. I'll do my best. Okay, here we go. And turning over. And Andre, action, and action today.
At a time when my television career was starting, so too was the career of a boxer, then known as Cassius Clay. Most of us know him today, but everybody knows him today as Muhammad Ali, my hero.
And cut it there. I couldn't fall that at all. How did you feel about that?
Very good.
Good.
Running up.
Okay, so nice and quiet, please. And
So,
At 6'3" Ali was a true champion boxer with a unique fighting style. He was also well known for his verbal sallies as well. One of his most famous quotes before each match was, "I float like a butterfly and sting like a bee." But aside from taunting or unnerving his opponent, it was his fast punches and swift feet that made him a true boxing superstar.
I know you're an aircraft, but you sounded kind of distant.
reading.
And background action. And action today.
But aside from unnerving or taunting his opponent, it was his fast punches and his swift feet that made him a true boxing superstar. Which brings us to why he is my hero. Well, I better do that again. I got
no worries.
a frog in the throat.
No worries. Rob, can we just make that long style less prominent? What
Yeah.
can we do?
Twist it.
Can you...
Hold on. Twist it. Hold on. Just cut
Sorry.
that for a second.
Speed.
Speeding.
And background action. And action.
But aside from unnerving or taunting his opponent, it was his fast punches and swift feet that made him a true boxing superstar. Which brings us to why he's my hero. And of course, first of all, the fact that he was indeed almost unanimously chosen as the greatest sportsman of the 20th century. But to me, it's not all about Ali in the ring. There's the way his views developed as he grew in stature. His sense of humour, always good, became irresistible. And he became a leading spokesman for the peace movement.
I think we just got out.
Just squeezed it in there, yeah.
Hang on. But why can we do one more? I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Run up and wait. Yeah, good.
Okay, to speed. And background action. And action day.
But aside from unnerving or taunting his opponent, it was his fast punches, his swift feet, that made him a true boxing superstar. Which brings us to why he's my hero. Well, of course, there's the fact that he was almost unanimously chosen as the greatest sportsman of the 20th century. But to me, it's not all about Ali in the ring. There's the way his views developed as he grew in stature. His sense of humour, always good, became irresistible. And he became a leading spokesman for the peace movement.
Very good. Cut it there. Thank you very much. Happy with that? Happy, David?
Yep, we'll do it now, yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, guys, so you're in the background. If you could just be, again, without making contact, boxing away. And can I get you to come down this end a bit, guys, so we can see you a bit more?
That's it.
There, that's perfect. Keep it there, that's great. Okay, here we go then. Speed. And background action. And action to David.
Around the time that Ali was punching his way into professional boxing history in the early 60s, I was trying to develop my own technique, though not as a boxer. Aged 23, hosting That Was the Week That Was for the BBC. But our attacks were verbal and came in the form of humour, aimed at some of the most influential people of the time.
And then bang there. I cued you too early, but that's going to work really well. Guy, could you just go that way a little bit so we can see you a bit more? That's it. Think about that. Can I? Yeah, and if I could get you this end here a little bit, so sorry, and you round that way a little bit. That's perfect, nice. If you could try and keep to that position, it'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, here we go again, and background action, and action David.
Around the time that Ali punched his way into professional boxing history in the early 60s, I was trying to develop my own style, though not as a boxer. Aged 23, hosting That Was the Week That Was for the BBC. But our attacks were verbal.
No worries. Just getting a flare off of David's glasses there as well. Okay, going again straight away, and background action. Oh, sorry guys, hold on.
Okay.
That's looking really great, so keep
Still
going,
running.
everyone. That's looking really nice. Okay, and speed. And background action, action David.
Around the time that Ali punched his way into professional boxing history in the early 60s, I was trying to develop my own style, though not as a boxer, but aged 23, hosting That Was the Week That Was for the BBC. But our attacks were verbal and came in the form of humour, aimed at some of the most prominent people of our time.
Cut. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Do you want to go straight into... And so guys, you will still see, just in case I do use this in vision, just be kind of, you can be chatting and discussing stuff in the background. Okay, and... Speed, and...
Muhammad Ali was a champion boxer, but even he wasn't invincible. Later bouts with the likes of Britain's Henry Cooper literally knocked the great man off his feet.
We try, guys, we can just hear you speaking, just a little bit lower please, Andre and the guys. Okay, one more time please, sorry. And action.
Muhammad Ali was a champion boxer, but even he wasn't invincible. A later bout, for instance, with Britain's Henry Cooper. No, it didn't end with, did it? No, one more time.
Okay, you're in time.
Muhammad Ali was a champion boxer, as we know, but even so, he wasn't invincible. Later bouts with the likes of Britain's Henry Cooper literally knocked the great man off his feet.
Aircraft-wise?
Just coming in the end. I think with it, you're going to lay some track over it, aren't you?
Yes. I'll have music and archive under that. Right, fine,
Brenda.
thank you very much. You're all right.
Darling Brenda.
So the next...
Oh dear.
Okay, so
Running
we're
up
turning
there.
over.
Speeding.
And remember, not too much noise, guys. You just sort of play acting for this one. And action to David.
In 1964, Ali's next bout was with the world champion Sonny Liston, and many didn't think Ali would win it. This hugely promoted fight actually nearly never happened because of the concern about Ali's then conversion to Islam. But it did go ahead, and he won. It was to be his last fight as Cassius Clay. But Muhammad Ali, the greatest, was born.
Okay, I'm sorry, I timed that a little bit wrong. Can we do one more? I'm going to bring you in a little bit earlier. Muhammad Ali, and then just at the very end of that, David, if you could just turn to look at the guys and say, oh, so I can see on that shot just that little bit more.
Okay.
Good. And same again, but that's working and looking really good, don't you think? And speed.
In 1964, Ali's next bout was with the world champion, the rather fearsome Sonny Liston, and many didn't think Ali would win it. this hugely promoted fight nearly never happened because of concern about Ali's then conversion to Islam. But it did go ahead, and he won it. It was to be his last fight as Cassius Clay. But Muhammad Ali, boxing champion, was born.
Cut. Very good. Brilliant. Very good. Let's turn over on that then, please. Same again. And because I can see you, Andre, if you're giving instructions, but again, keeping the noise down, guys. And at the very end, you will still come across as before. Okay, and speed, and action.
In 1964, Ali's next bout was with the world champion, the rather fearsome Sonny Liston, and many didn't think Ali would win it. This hugely promoted fight nearly never happened because of concern about Ali's then conversion to Islam. But it did go ahead, and he won it. It was to be his last fight as Cassius Clay. But Muhammad Ali, boxing champion, was born.
Cut. Brilliant.
Seconds out.
And so background action and action, David.
It was then in 1967 that I had the first of several opportunities to interview Muhammad Ali. At that time, he was still spouting a great deal of the black Muslim rhetoric, and there was a whole long, rousing argument we had about his assertion that all white men are devils, the Bible says, but not that black men are devils too. And that was good, rousing stuff. But afterwards I said to him, you know, in that interview, you were behaving like a black George Wallace, but you could be a black Bobby Kennedy. And that's what happened to him, of course. Not because I said it, but that's what happened.
Okay. Can you do that one more time?
Yeah.
That was good. Can you be... I'm getting a little bit of flare, I know, just towards the end there, just in your glasses. I'm seeing the lamp in your glasses, so we're just going to move that around a bit. Sorry about that. But that was very good.
Really lovely to be
Right.
Yep, very good. Okay, so keep that up, guys. So can we turn over again, please? And so background action, guys, same thing, and action, David.
It was in 1967 that I had my first opportunity to interview Muhammad Ali. In those days, he was still spouting a lot of the black Muslim rhetoric and so on. We had a long argument about his assertion that all white men are devils, but black men are not devils by definition. But in the end, one was aware of the gentleness beneath the militants. And I said to him afterwards, you know, you're behaving today like a black George Wallace, but you could be a black Bobby Kennedy. And of course, not because I said it, but that's what happened.
Cool.
Lovely.
Brilliant.
Now,
Guys, we're just seeing you in the background. If you could just be chatting this time.
So you've got an aeroplane running.
it does work better, the plain suit, doesn't it?
Yes.
With all the busyness
Absolutely.
around.
Yeah, I
you
think
know.
that was a good call. Well done. It's nice. Okay, and speed. So nice and quiet in the background, just chatting away, and action.
In the ring and in his prime, between 1965 and 67, Ali had defended his World Heavyweight Championship title a staggering 9 times. As a young man, he could easily take the punches, which is much more than some of his opponents could do. Do you think that should go before that bit we just did?
Well, I'm hoping I've got this as a separate piece.
Yeah, but I mean, what I mean is you could go... Well, no, you can move it. I
Yes.
said
So
it
this
could
bit could go before that one.
Because
Yeah.
that's 67. And
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Fine.
Okay, well, we've
This
done
is-
that.
Yeah, but guys, you were just a little bit too loud. Can you just be a little bit lower? Sorry, thank you. So just one more, please, on that. So in the ring again, and in his prime. And speed, and action.
In the ring and in his prime, between 1965 and 1967, Ali defended his World Heavyweight Champion title a staggering 9 times. As a young man, he could easily ride the punches, take the punches, which is more than some of his opponents could do.
Excellent. So we're skipping the next piece to come,
Yep.
aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go to the next one.
Which is Ali returned to the ring in 1970. And And David, I think, is going to add something to that.
Yeah, you can put this in.
To take
Yeah.
on this? Okay, so we're turning over. So guys, we can see you in the background now, and again, if you can just be given a bit more sort of instruction, please, Andre. And keeping the noise down again, guys. And background action, and action.
In 1967, Ali was also banned from boxing because of his refusal as a pacifist to fight in Vietnam. It took him 3 years to win an appeal. He returned to the ring in 1970 to fight the likes of Joe Frazier and George Foreman. The Ali versus Foreman fight was held in Zaire, where it was dubbed the Rumble in the Jungle. It was also where I got my next opportunity to interview Ali, and I went to his training camp at Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, and went into the ring with him.
Good. Did I notice a stumble at all on that, or did that sound all right? I think it did. Sounded good, yeah. And if you wouldn't mind just leaning on that top one.
Yeah, I felt a bit awkward.
Oh, do you?
It feels a bit like you're in
That's
jail.
good. You're happy with that? What do you want? Do you feel that one? Okay, here we go. So guys in the background just chatting away, but obviously not letting us hear you. And speed. And action.
After the Rumble in the Jungle, Muhammad came to London, and I persuaded him to guest host. Oh, not to guest host. Again,
All right,
start again.
You're on time.
After the Rumble in the Jungle, Muhammad came to London, and I persuaded him to appear on a program I was guest hosting on radio. The people at BBC Radio were delighted, but then the contracts guy came in, and I said to him, "How much are you going to pay Muhammad Ali for this interview?" And he said, 7 guineas. And I said, "Can't you do better than that?" And he said, "No." I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because Muhammad Ali is not a radio name." Not a radio name, most famous man in the world.
Excellent. Very good.
All right?
Yep. Should we move on to the next piece
Yep.
of camera? Okay, speed. And action.
Ali was firing on all cylinders. Ali was firing on all cylinders during that fight. And so was your correspondent.
Just do one more time for me on that one.
Fun?
Just do that one more time, please.
Okay.
Just the end bit. Just give me a bit more of a pause. And a bit more emphasis on so too was so was I.
Okay.
And
The arms are not moving about, are
no,
they?
no, that's fine. Actually, because it's very short, yeah, I think it will work. It looks fine. It's nice and casual. And action.
Ali was firing on all cylinders during that fight. And so was your correspondent. But Ali's health soon took a turn for the worst. Many claim that some of those later fights would have been better not having taken place because they'd taken such a toll on his health. And as the 80s dawned, Ali had begun his retirement from boxing.
Very good. Can you do while you're there? Do you want to just do that ad-lib that you wanted to do?
The which, okay.
Stand by. And so again, guys, we can see you in the background chatting away, please. And action.
Many say that boxing, particularly the later fights, had taken its toll on his health. Health, I said that. Many people think that boxing had taken its toll on his health, particularly on the later fight.
No worries, in your own time.
Many say that boxing had taken its toll on his health, but he has never blamed boxing for his Parkinson's disease.
Could you do that one more time? Can you just put that Ali has never blamed Parkinson's? Just refer to Ali rather than he.
Okay.
Just to punch home that point that's here. I know this whole film is dying, but you know, just to be pedantic. Okay. And action.
Many people say that boxing has taken its toll on his health, particularly the later fights that had been better hadn't taken place. But Ali himself has never blamed boxing, even for his Parkinson's.
Cool. And that made perfect sense to me. Well done. Very good.
Good.
So we're on to the last two links. Go for a week there. Sorry, you really do want to know that. Okay, here we go. And background action and action.
In 2003, I was to interview him again. Probably in one of the last interviews he'll be able to give. By now, of course, I thought of him more as a friend than an interviewee, and that was why I was so relieved to see, despite his difficulty with speech, that his mind was as sharp as ever. But because of Parkinson's disease, we used subtitles to help the viewers to understand clearly what he was saying.
Okay, how's the background level, Rob?
It's, yeah.
You can't hear it?
Yeah, it's David's well above it.
Perfect. That was brilliant. I can't fault that. You happy with that? And action.
This is a treasured possession, which was given to me by Muhammad himself back in December the 1st, 1974, after the rumble in the jungle. And he wrote here to David Frost from Muhammad Ali, "The man who views the world at 50 the same way he viewed it at 20 has lived and wasted 30 years of his life." Well, Muhammad hasn't done that. His views have developed. He no longer believes that white men are devils, lots of things like that. He's inspired young people all over the world, and he certainly hasn't wasted the last 30 years of his life.
Cut. Oh, perfect.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah. We had a little bit of background noise there. Absolutely Velcro off. But other than that, we had a few guys shouting on there. Turn again, so in position please everyone. Stand by. So, again, keep up that energy, David. It's working really well. So same again, please. And speed. And background action. And action.
This is a treasured possession. It was given to me back on December the 1st, 1974, after the rumble in the jungle and a dinner that I'd shared for Muhammad in London. And he wrote this in his own hand here, in his own right, as John Lennon would have said. And he wrote here, Muhammad, "The man who views the world at 50 the same way he viewed it at 20 has lived and wasted 30 years of his life." Well, Muhammad hasn't wasted those 30 years. He's developed so much. He no longer thinks many of the things he originally thought, like all white men being devils. He's inspired young people all around the world. He's done a lot for various peace movements around the world, and he's been very active behind the scenes. In fact, it would certainly be true to say that Muhammad Ali has not lived and wasted the last 30 years of his life. God bless him.